right here, right there. Okay. Good. All right, Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wahab, Rakab, Quadash.
Yeah, which is the correct names of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son in the ancient Hebrew tongue. Also want to give double honors to the head apostles and elders, Great Millstone, the men whom we believe through faith to be raised up in these last days as the ambassadors of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, and establish the words of the Heavenly Father through His Son. And to all you brothers out there that's doing likewise, continuing that legacy, we say Shalom. So yeah, this lesson right here is going to be somewhat continuing in the theme of breaking down the strongholds of Christianity. Because like the Apostle Sahab mentioned from time to time, if you want to make a so-called Christian run, bring up the topic of reincarnation. And that's what we want to go into in this lesson. And to be specific, we want to go into the reincarnation of the prophets. All right? Because when you go into the history, before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua got ready to take down any kingdom, he will always raise up his prophets, you know? Matter of fact, somebody can get that real quick. Jeremiah. Yeah, because, hey, when you go back to the very core, when the Lord sprung into action and took down the known world at that time by way of a flood, did not he raise up a prophet? Noah. Noah didn't just build an ark. Noah actually was prophesying. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, go ahead up.
Okay, it's Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right, so the prophets before me and before thee of old, meaning there was prophets that came on the scene before us, and they all had the same role. All right. Matter of fact, get 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. It started at the top. Because not only do the Lord set up prophets before he brings destruction, but he set up prophets when he get ready to bring deliverance. You know? And we're in the time of deliverance. So whoever got it.
Yeah, this 2nd Ezra 2 and 1 says, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments.
Right. So when did that happen? In ancient Egypt. Mm-hmm. The Lord brought us out of our first captivity, which was under the house of bondage, the house of Pharaoh. Mm-hmm. All right. When you go into the history, the historians call him Ramses II. All right. So go ahead, up.
And I gave them my commandments by my servants, the prophets.
See, by my servants, the prophets. So the prophets always going to be on the scene. And these prophets is not random. It's not like the Lord used Jeremiah for one time period and he just cast them away. Whenever the Lord needed a prophecy to come out, he would raise up who? The prophets. So I'll finish that and get Jeremiah the 1st chapter.
Continuing on in 2nd Ezra, like 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 1, it says, whom they would not hear.
See, and that proved that the men at Great Millstone must be the prophets. Because we the group that you people don't want to hear. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead.
But despise my counsels.
But despise the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, so give me that Jeremiah 1, start at 5.
Okay, this is Jeremiah 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Mm-hmm. And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
And the point there is to the nations, plural. So Jeremiah didn't just prophesy in the ancient Babylonian Empire. He prophesied in this kingdom as well. You know, and we're going to prove through the spirit of power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that the prophets are reincarnated. You know, go ahead.
This Daniel chapter 12 and verse 13. It says, but go thou thy way to the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot.
And what's thy lot? To be a prophet, to prophesy. Matter of fact, get that. Is that 2 Corinthians 14?
I got on that.
Yeah, bring that out. Right?
Yeah, God. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. And the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Right. So the lot of a prophet is subject to that prophet. If I'm a mechanic, right, and I got my tool bag, when it's time for me to bring out the screwdriver, I'm not going to reach for the hammer. So that's what the Lord do. His spiritual tool bag, when it's time for prophecies to be broken down or prophecies to be declared, he reaches his spiritual tool bag and bring out who? The prophets. See what I'm saying? So the prophets are reincarnated. And we just read the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. All right? So give me Matthew the 16th chapter. Because this idea is only foreign to you modern people out there. You Americans. The thought of reincarnation, it don't sit well with you. It don't resonate with you because you just ate up this modern world. Matter of fact, I started like the 10th verse, Matthew 16 and 10.
Yeah.
But before you get it, I just want to show through the spirit, of course, that this idea of the prophets being reincarnated wasn't foreign to those in the ancient world. You know what? Find when the Pharisees came to John and asked, "Who are you?" That proves that the idea of the prophets being reincarnated wasn't anything foreign, you know. So go ahead.
This Matthew 16 and 10. It says, "Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many baskets he took up."
Yeah, read.
Okay, it said, "How is it that ye do not understand that I spake it not to you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees?"
Yeah, so Yahweh was really getting on the disciples. They was being simple. They thought that the bread was just literal, you know, and the leaven of the bread. He was dealing with the Pharisees was talking over their heads. Go ahead.
It says, "Then understood they that he bade them not beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees."
Mm-hmm.
When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Whom do ye say that I, the Son of Man, am?"
Read it again.
It says, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?
Right. So Yahweh asked the disciples, "Who do the men say that I am?" Because when you read on up, the Lord sent the disciples out to prophesy, and they had a lot of different stories they brought back. They had a lot of different encounters. So what the first thing Yahweh asked them? Who do men say that I am? Meaning what? It was a known fact back then that in Israel, they was looking forward to the prophets being raised back up. That wasn't a foreign concept in those times. So go ahead.
It says, and they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist."
See what they said?
It says, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist."
Mm-hmm.
Some Elias.
Yes. So the Lord asked them, "Who do men say I am?" And they said, "Some say you John the Baptist, some say Elias." Go ahead.
And others Jeremiah.
And others Jeremiah. Go ahead.
Or one of the others, or one of the prophets.
Or one of the prophets. Meaning what? The prophets are reincarnated, man. Now, did Yahweh cuss them out? Yahweh either could say, "What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about?" Because the scriptures speak about it. I'm gonna get that. Matter of fact, read that over one more time.
It says, and they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist,
Mm-hmm.
some Elias, and other Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." But he said unto them, "But whom say ye that I am?"
Right. So Yahweh didn't curse them out for that idea. That proves that in the ancient world, they knew or they was familiar with the concept of the prophets being raised back up, man. So the prophets is reincarnated, and you looking at the prophets, man. All right, and throughout America, because there's more prophets than recorded in these books. There's certain prophets because when you read about Obadiah hid 50 prophets in a cave. So is those prophets recorded? No. So there's some prophets that's less famous than others. You know what I mean? So read that again. You just read it.
Kind of said, and they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah's, or one of the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
But he said unto them, whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Hamashiach, the son of the living power.
Right.
And God said, and Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven.
Right. So that's another thing. The only way this is going to be revealed to you is through the Spirit. Because really, even though we see that the scriptures clearly support reincarnation, but the Spirit got to rest on you, man. Because just because we can see it, that don't mean you people can see it. So the Lord has to reveal this to you. You know what I mean? And if you knew that you was dealing with the prophets, you wouldn't be in the spirit that you in. Matter of fact, what that is, I believe, is 2 Chronicles 33. I think it's 16 and 36 or something like that. Where it said you misuse my prophets.
Oh,
yeah, if you can find that. Because it's a method to why the Lord didn't disclose who the prophets were. See what I'm saying? Because if you knew we was the prophets, you would pretty much be in that fake shit. You would be cussing up, you would be kissing our ass, and you wouldn't be genuine. So by the Lord hiding that who we are, now you gotta just be yourself. See what I'm saying? So you can't finesse your how about Shema shot. If you knew you were dealing with one of the ancient prophets, you wouldn't be in the spirit that you in. You know what I mean? So you found that?
Yeah, God. This is First Chronicles, it's like 2 Chronicles chapter 36 and 16. It says, but they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy.
Right, so they misused the prophet. So that it was meant to be that way. If you knew that the prophets was here amongst you, you wouldn't be in that spirit. See? But by Yahweh Shema Shah hiding that information from you, now you got to be yourself. So the prophets is right among you, man. You know, the prophets have been reincarnated. So somebody give me Mark, the 12th chapter real quick. Let's start at the 25th verse.
The book of Mark, chapter 12 and 25. For when they shall rise from the dead, they neither marry nor given in marriage, but are as the angels which are in heaven.
Right, so that's dealing with when you die. When you die, you don't have a body. Your spirit go and rise and go back to your house by Shema, and you neither marry or given in marriage because you're a spirit. You don't have the desires of the flesh. All right? And we don't prove that. Keep reading.
Mark 12 and 26. And as touching the dead, that they rise.
See? So the Lord is all over their head. He just said, as for those who arise, they don't either marry, but he turned right around and said, but as for those who resurrect, that's talking about when you go to the spirit world and you come back. All right, go ahead.
Haven't ye not read in the book of Moses, how in the bush the Most High spake unto him, saying, I am the power of Abraham and the power of Isaac and the power of Jacob.
Right. So that's what the Lord told Moses. I'm the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? There's a reason why he said that. Go ahead.
He is not the power of the dead.
See? Meaning that they weren't dead at that point. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was alive when Moses was alive. They just didn't know who they were. Go ahead.
But the Most High of the living.
The power of the living. See? The power of the living. So nobody dies in the sight of Yahweh Shema Shah. But this is the Lord Yahweh Shah cutting them, and this topic was dealing with what? The resurrection or the reincarnation, which this proves that Yahweh Shah supported reincarnation.
Yep.
And it also tells you that, matter of fact, get that Matthew the 22nd chapter.
Finish what it says. Ye therefore do greatly err. Matthew the 25th.
Yeah, and that's what the people you greatly err, because without the ingredient of reincarnation, you can never fully come to the full understanding of the scriptures. Really, reincarnation is the glue to the scriptures, man. And the scriptures support that. Matter of fact, you got a precept? Matthew, I believe it's Matthew 22. Let me make sure. I know it's Matthew 22nd chapter.
I'm reading it right now.
And let me see, it's toward the end. Yep, Matthew 22. And yep, start at the 41st verse. Yeah, start at the 41st verse. This show you right here that Yahweh Shai in the struggle or the constant battle between the Pharisees and Sadducees, the main topic was on the topic of reincarnation. See what I'm saying? So why is that playing out today? Why do we feel compelled, the men of the Lord, who we believe we are, why do we be compelled to bring our lessons dealing with reincarnation? If that's the spirit of Yahweh Shai on us, man, continue to drive that point home about the resurrection. All right, so go ahead out.
St. Matthew's 22 and verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahweh Shai asked them, saying, what think ye of a Mashiach? Whose son is he? They said unto him, the son of David. Verse 43, he said unto them, how then doeth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sittest thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Right, and the reason why the Lord brought that out, because the Lord was bringing home the point that Solomon was the Lord. and Yahweh Shai was basically letting them know, look, I'm Solomon, man. You're the one who you show reverence to, King David, called me the Lord. But that went over their head. They're going to show you that. Go ahead.
Verse 45. Matthew 22 and 45. If David then called him Lord, how is he his son?
And the answer to that is because Solomon was the Lord. That's the answer to it. See, we can answer that question today. Like, if we was to roll up on T.D. Jakes or any of some assholes and ask them that question, they gonna shut us down. They gonna say, man, get these guys out. But guess what? That scripture is in the Bible. You can't dismiss that. It ain't like we made it up. This is a legitimate question that's in the scriptures. And that question standing this day, because it should be a question. Let me see.
It's a question
mark about it. So that question standing this day. And only the men of Yahweh Shai can answer that question, man. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If David then called himself Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither doeth any man from that day forth ask him any more questions.
See that? So nobody asked him any more questions. Why? Because that was a stumbling block. They knew that Yahweh Shai took it there. That was the level that they couldn't deal with. You know what I mean? They knew if the Lord really brought them out to deep waters with that question. So in order, if they would have answered it anytime, they would have been caught. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Yahweh Shai dealt with it. So give me that account of John the Baptist real quick.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 19. And this is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? Who art thou?
Right. So that proves once again that the idea of the prophets being resurrected or reincarnated was not foreign in the ancient time, man. It's just you modern people, man. Matter of fact, before we go to Jeremiah 6 and 16. Because that's the problem with Israel. Israel, they cleave to who's ever in power. That's why when you go into the time of Yahweh Shai, it says, we have no other king but Caesar. That's Israel. When whoever showed, that's a bitch. That's like a woman. That's why Israel known as a whore, man.
Yep.
Or unfaithful bride, because abroad she goes who got the power, man. So that's why Israel, whoever in power, that's who Israel dealing with. And that's why Yahweh Shai came lowly, man. And only the true followers gravitated to him. So give me that Jeremiah 6 and 16.
This Jeremiah 6 and verse 16. Thus says the Lord Yahweh Shai, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said we would not walk therein.
Right. So the old past, we going into the old past. In the old times, what would they do? They inquired of who the prophets were. They was like, oh, this guy. That's why you see amongst great millstones, and brothers don't be off for that. Brothers say, hey, I believe that could be so and so, or I believe the Apostle Gabar is Timothy. You know what I mean? Or I think Ariah is John the Revelator. You know what I mean? Or this brother could be that brother. Because that's seeking out the old past. That's how they did in the past, man. You know what I'm saying? And we just read about it in Matthew the 16th chapter, where the disciples themselves, and Yahweh Shai initiated the contact. He initiated that conversation. He said, hey, who they say that I am? So that proved that we in the same spirit of the disciples and Yahweh Shai in the body. You know what I'm saying? So go back right here.
St. John chapter 1, verse 20. And he confessed and denied not, but confessed. So like St. John 1 and 19, and this is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Mashiach. And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias?
Now give me the scripture where the Lord say he is Elias. Is that Matthew 17? Matter of fact, while he getting that, somebody give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 11. Because there's a reason why, even though we all know, matter of fact, before you get that, give me that.
Yeah. This Matthew 17, and start at verse 10. It says, and his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things.
And that was talking about our business. Yeah, that's about our business, right? Because when you go into John didn't have to restore all things. Israel knew who they was. That's why when you read in 2 Thessalonians, scripture talk about how there's going to be a falling away first. So the falling away happened, then John came and restored all things. That's why we thank Yahweh Shai for giving us the mysteries, man. Because see, we can read the scriptures and the Lord being merciful to us, man. Showing us the secrets. Now go ahead.
Says, but I say unto you that Elias is come already.
See, Elias has come already. Hey, Yahweh Shai was mean. Let's show you that everything was given to now. Yahweh Shai was told clean over their hand, man. They probably was sipping. That's why they thought he was drunk. They was sipping. You know what I mean? And I was shouting like, he truly must come. But I tell you, you know what I mean? Elias has come already. You know what I mean? They're like, what the fuck? See? But he wasn't talking to them. He was talking to who? He was talking to us. See? Great. So that go to show you the mentality of Yahweh Shai. He had the future on his mind. You can't even multitask now. You barely can pull you something, look at the phone and say something to another brother without.
That's enough.
Yahweh Shai talking to them and being mindful that he break it down to us by the time we get it. Yeah, go ahead.
These are Romans 15 and 4. It said, whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
There you go. And that's Paul. Let's show you the level Paul was on. Paul understood that. And Yahweh Shai walked Paul through that. See? So go back to that. The Lord said, I truly tell you.
It says, but I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise, ye shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake of them of John the Baptist.
See, of John the Baptist. And they went into it. He broke it down. They don't tell you everything. When you read the scripture talk about how perhaps if all the things that was written about the Lord, the books can contain it. So it wasn't just that subtle of a conversation. The Lord went into it. Like, hey, notice when John, remember last week we were with John, you notice when John did this? Well, Elijah did. They're like, oh shit. Now go back to now before you get that, go back to what you said, what you read.
God. It's St. John chapter 1 and
well, so he He didn't.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias? And he saith, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And
See,
he said
he said that he wasn't, but Yahushua just clarified that he was.
Yeah.
But why did he say he wasn't? Give me Ecclesiastes 1 and 11.
Ecclesiastes 1 verse 11. There's no remembrance of former things.
See, there's no remembrance of former things. There's a method to that. Because if we knew who we were, we'll take our foot off the gas. We wouldn't. If you knew what prophet you was, one of the great prophets of Yahweh Shah, you ain't gonna do the work. Or you're gonna just say, okay, I'm gonna just chill. I know the Lord got me. I'm promised the crown here. It's a book dedicated to me. I'm one of the men. So you can't. The Lord ain't no joke, man. That what keeps us humble. That's why when you read scripture, when the Lord talk about there's no respect of men or persons, and there ain't no favoritism of the Lord. That show you that it ain't, because here it is. You got guys like Jeremiah who really everybody show reverence, but now he back today and don't know who the hell he is. He's just a regular guy. I mean, he Jeremiah, but the Lord didn't pump him up and say, hey, there go Jeremiah. You know what I mean? So that's show you how bad Yahweh Shai, man. Everybody just you go back to just being humble, man. There's a day reserved where the Lord gonna reserve lift us up. But until then, you just gotta just be humble. Can't nobody exalt themselves, man. Not even the prophets of old, even though we back today. All right? So read that again. That's why John said that. And it's the spirit that the Apostle High just told that the vocab alone. He said, no, I ain't Paul. But, we don't want to just add no fuel. But through the spirit, we, you know what I'm saying? You know what time it is, man. We don't even go there yet, so go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 11 again. There is no remembrance of former things.
See?
Neither shall there be in remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Right, meaning what? If I have a baby, it ain't gonna be no remembrance of the things to come with him. Those who come after us, they ain't gonna remember shit either. That's it. Because the Lord set a bound when you don't remember who you were. That's it. So go back right here.
Okay. St. John 1 and verse 21. And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias? And he saith, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no. Then said they unto him, who art thou?
So the point is what? Back then they knew that the prophets was coming back.
True.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. But now that's why we don't take none of you guys serious. Because if you was on the level, you would come to us and say, who you claim to be then? I respect that more. If you came to me and said, well, who you claim to be? You one of the prophets of old? But you people ain't even on that level. You know what I'm saying? The Pharisee was on a low level to those men, even though they was on a level. But because when you read Matthew, I believe 23rd chapter, talk about how they sit in the seat of Moses. But they went on the level of the men who Yahushua dealt with. But they was mindful. They understood the idea that the prophets could come back. That's why they proceeded with caution when they came to John. They didn't want to just roll up on John and just fuck with John. They had to make sure, hold up, is you Elias? If you Elias, we can't fuck with you. You know what I mean? And that's why even when Yahushua was on the cross, it's in one of the recordings where Yahushua, when he said Allah, no, I'm talking about. And they said, what are you doing? Is he calling for Elias? Yeah. So it proves right there, man, that they understood reincarnation. But you read this again up.
St. John 1 and 21. And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias? And he saith, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no. Then they said unto him, who art thou? That we may give an answer to them that sent us.
Yeah, see that?
What sayest thou of thyself?
Yep. So they wanted him to give him an answer, because in that show right there, they was sent. The very reason why they were sent to find out who he was, to see if he was a prophet or not, man. I mean, or one of the prophets of old, should I say? So the idea of a prophet of old being raised back up is nothing new, man. It just show how low level you people are, man. Anybody got something? If not, get Malachi, the 4th chapter. But the Lord himself said, support this. But we don't really expect you Christians to know. You Christians don't deal with logic. You don't deal with scriptures, man. You ask one of these Christians to give you a precept, they're going to get John 3:16. Go ahead, you got something? Malachi, 3, select. I think, is it 3?
Yeah, 3 and 4. You can go before and next to the last verse.
Oh, I send you Elijah the prophet.
You want that one? Or you want
4 and 5, that's what I want. Okay, yeah, that's the one I really want, yeah.
It's Malachi 4 and verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elias, the prophet, before the slot. Again. It's Malachi 4 and verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
That's plain, man. Why is that such a hard thing? That's, if you was about reasoning, if you were sincere, we can bring that scripture out right there, and you should concede to the fact that reincarnation is built. And see what I'm saying? They go to show that Yahweh Shah blinded you people, man. You can't tell me that that's plain. He said, I'm going to send you Elijah the prophet. He didn't say, because you know, these Christians like to say that when you read what that is, what the scriptures say, John was in the spirit of Elias. Let me see if I can find it. They like to say he was just in the spirit, it wasn't reincarnated. Read that again, let me see if I can find that. You know where it's at? He should be in the spirit of Elias or something like that. And that's a lot of these Christians, they say that. They like to say, like, he was in the same, you know, he had the character, the spirit and character. You know what I mean? Of Elijah. I think it's Luke 1, the 1st chapter.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep,
yeah, it's Luke 1 and 17. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elias to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just to make.
Yeah, who is talking about? Just read it up so it can.
Oh yeah, God, it's let's see.
Because it's talking about John.
Oh yeah, I started on verse 13. I started at verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
This is Luke 1:11. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John.
Right, so this is talking about John, right? John the Baptist. Go ahead.
And thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth, for he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit.
Why is that word great there?
God.
He should be great. Great millstone, man. Go ahead.
It said, even from his mother's womb.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Lord their power.
And that happens at Abba Biggins, man. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And he shall go before them in the spirit and power of Elias to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and to the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord.
See that's exact, man.
Yeah, that is right. Yep.
And that's why when you read the scripture, we're talking about John shall be the least in the kingdom. Right now, if you were to go and look for our video, ain't nobody checking for it. Brothers check for our video more than our. And this kingdom is us. We the kingdom. That don't mean John gonna be in the kingdom. Less, the janitor. That means right now, John is less, even though he first came on the scene. But now the Lord, since that happened, the Lord that opens us up to stuff that Elijah don't even know about. The chip, you know what I mean? If Abba could sit in the room with us now, he'll be listening to us like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how Yahweh Shema did. So go back to Malachi. Read that again.
Malachi 4 and 5 again. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great day and dreadful day of the Lord.
See, the great and dreadful day of the Lord. When did that happen? Vocab or anybody out there that don't believe in reincarnation? Where is it on record of the great and dreadful day of the Lord? We wait on that day. So that's talking about when Abba Bivens came. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
He shall come and smite the earth with a curse.
Right, so we know who our fathers are now. We know that our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the task for Abba or John the Baptist, Elijah, whatever you want to call him, is the same spirit. His task was to turn the sons back to Israel, man. And that happened on this side, in America, man. See what I'm saying? So the prophets are reincarnated. You know, but hey, we don't expect people just to get that. We just bringing it out. If you can get that, you better thank Yahweh Shema Shah. Because this ain't for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was trying to say if you can receive it.
Yep, if you can receive it. Yeah, I just said it. What's that? Is that
I got.
you got that? It said you can receive it. This is
He got ears 11 here.
Yeah, get
Ears
that.
11 here. This is Matthew 11. I'm gonna start at verse 12. It said, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violence taken by force.
Mm-hmm.
For all the prophets and the law prophesied unto John, and if you will receive it, this is Elias, which was before to come.
See, he was all about reincarnation. That's why we know that Apostle Taha, that's the spirit. That's why we know that Apostle Taha is in the spirit. I mean, but you see that? That's why we know that I almost said it again. The Apostle Taha is in the spirit. That's the guy that was dealing with Yahweh Shah. Because is that man did he not thoroughly break down the reincarnation, man? And all the men that's under that doctrine, do we not thoroughly go into that? So we didn't make that up. I can see it. We just trying to build around what Yahweh Shah said. No, it's in the spirit, but that's how we feel. We believe in reincarnation. Read that again.
This is Matthew 12.
Yahweh Shah is in the same spirit. So think about it. Yahweh Shah came back now. Who will he deal with? It'll be the men in great millstone. Period, man. Go ahead, huh?
Matthew 11:13 says, for all the prophets and the law, prophesied unto John, and if you will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come.
Yeah, so you got to be able to receive that. So that's why we just putting it out there. You know, we ain't expecting you people to get it. You got something?
It says, I read. It says, for all the prophets and the law prophesied unto John, and if you will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that have ears to hear, let him hear.
All right, so if you got the spirit of understanding, you can digest it. Good for you. But if not, hey, it is what it is. We ain't in the time to bend it over back. We know what the scripture said, man. We know that reincarnation is biblical. And we know that the prophets is back. Matter of fact, prove the prophets back. Get Revelation, the 11th chapter. And is that the 11th chapter? I think in the 18th verse where it talk about the Lord destroy them that destroy the earth.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Get that, Revelation 11:18, because it's something that's in that precept that proved that the prophets back today.
This is Revelations 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets.
See? The Lord said he's going to give reward to his servants, the prophets. So when did they receive that? Give me, I think that's 1 Timothy. Is that 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter? Paul talking about the crown. Get that. Try 1 Timothy 4, I think in like 8 or something like that. Is that it up?
Yeah, lady, crowns of righteousness.
Mm-hmm. 1 Timothy 4th chapter. That ain't it.
That's 4 and 8.
Is it
Oh,
4 and 8?
Come 13 to 4.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah, get that real quick.
it's on 1 Timothy 4 verse 8. For bodily exercise is profit little, but godliness is profitable
No, I
to
don't
all.
know.
No, that's second. I got it. It's second.
Second.
Yeah.
The second Timothy.
Yeah, this Second Timothy chapter 4, I'm starting at verse 7. It
Mhm.
said, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness.
Yeah, so when did Paul get that crown? So Paul got to be here today to get that crown. So when you read second Ezra, we're talking about the crowning, where the Lord set out the crown. So Paul had to come back. Paul got to be reincarnated, man, to get the crown. See what I'm saying? Go ahead, up.
God, it says, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day.
At that day. So we know that Paul got put to death, but hey, did he receive the crown? No. So that means that Paul gonna come back. Matter of fact, keep reading.
God,
Because it's gonna mention the prophets right here. Go ahead.
it said, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing.
Now, who is that? All of them that love his appearance? The prophets. Give me 1 Peter 1 and 10. It's the prophets that love his appearance. Because did not the prophets desire to see the day of Yahushua? Go ahead.
It's on
Oh, did not Yahushua say Abraham rejoiced at my coming?
God.
It's only the prophets that wanted to see Yahushua. When Yahushua came on the scene 2,000 years ago, Israel didn't want him there. The prophets wanted him. They was happy to see him. Go ahead, Op.
It's on 1 Peter 1 and 10. Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
See?
Who
What
prophesied?
salvation? What the word salvation? What the word Yahushua mean? He that saved. That's what that's talking about. Yeah, no man own. So the prophets seek diligently. They love the appearing of Yahushua. Go ahead.
Who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you.
See? So when Paul said, not only me, but those who love thy appearance, they're talking about Jeremiah, Obadiah, Nehemiah, Amos, Malachi, Micah,
Job.
Which means what? Oh, Job, get that. That means they back. Oh, get that. That's good. That's right on time. And get that before we move any further.
This is Job 19.
Because Job basically said the same thing right there with Paul.
Job 19 and 26.
Yep.
1 second.
Because what Paul said, all those who love his appearance. So, you know what I mean? Hey, who else gonna get the crown? Like I always say, from time to time, the spirit I always bring out, it ain't gonna be no niggas going up on the chariots. Like, no, what's going on? You know what I mean? The only ones who gonna go up in those chariots gonna be the ones who was waiting on that day. They love to see the Lord come back. See? You got it up?
Okay. It's Job 19, we'll start at 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth.
So why is he concerned about that? Because Job was going to be rich, and Job was a prophet. Job was a mean prophet. You know, a lot of people don't know that. Job was a prophet, man. When you go into Job going into some heavy prophecies, man. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And though after my skin worms destroy this body.
Right, so that body that Job was in was going to die, decay, and the worms were going to go through their process what they was created for. That destroy the body. Go ahead.
Yet in my flesh.
Yet in his flesh. Matter of fact, real quick, that's Luke 24, the last chapter in Luke. Luke 24. And let me see, you got the red letter. Go round towards the end, you're going to see the outside. You know exactly what I want? Oh, you got the red letter right here?
Luke 24.
Oh, okay, yeah, you right there. That's good. Give me Luke 24 and right here. Start at 37.
This is all
because what Job said, in my flesh I should see him. So somebody might say, well, hold up. He's going to be in heaven with a new body. He's going to have flesh. Well, let's see what the scripture say.
37.
Start at 37.
There's Luke 24 and verse 37. But they were terrified and affrighted and supposed that they had seen a spirit.
So that's dealing with Yahweh popped up on the disciples, right? Let's see what Yahweh's answer was. Go ahead.
Verse 38, and he said unto them, why are you troubled? And why do your thoughts arise in your heart? Behold, my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit have no flesh and bones, as you see.
A spirit have not flesh and bones. So when Job said, in my flesh, I'm going to see him, he went in the spirit world. You people can get cut messing with us, man. You can't get around it. And guess what? That was the words of Yahweh.
Right.
So Yahweh said, look, Yahweh went into detail.
Right.
Look, handle me. Because the spirit is blood that I am. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So when Job said, read that again.
This is the book of Job 19 and 26. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High.
And that's dealing with on the earth. And he's talking about in the last days, meaning what? He's going to be a prophet. One of the prophets that's going to be reincarnated to receive a reward, man. That's the whole point of us coming back, to receive our reward. All right? You got more than that?
Like you just said, whom I shall see for myself.
Woo! How he gonna see him for himself? Because he gonna be there. So that's Job killing any other external idea you can bring in there. No, somebody might say, well, hold up. Job, they're gonna prophesy to Job in the kingdom. They're gonna tell Job. You know, these motherfuckers just trying to tell you that. No, but that means they're going to finally sit down with Job and tell him what happened, what occurred when the house shut. No, Job said nobody else I'm going to see him. So that means Job going to be on the scene of the crime. Yeah, go ahead.
Job 19 and 27, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me.
Yeah, so that's it. So go back to Revelation, unless you got a precept. Go back to Revelation 11 chapter again. Because that's it. This is Job going to get the reward. Yep, go ahead.
It's Revelation 11 and 18, and the nations were angry, and that wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward to thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great. And
so the Lord said he's going to give reward to the prophets, those that fear his name, small and great. Now when you go into the writings, Obadiah would be considered small. He got one chapter. And you got Jeremiah, somebody, big chapters. Those small and great. To this day, you got certain brothers that might not have a lot of subscribers. First don't get that many views. They're going to get rewarded. See what I'm saying?
Just like the brother from North Carolina, Shalom, elder.
Shalom.
Like you said, cut.
That's right, because you Christians out there, like the Apostle Hart said, if you want to make a Christian, if it's 4 Christians, if you want to make them scatter in all directions, just say, what do you feel about reincarnation? Is reincarnation biblical? And that's what Yahweh Shah did. All right, Yahweh Shah brought, and what happened? The scriptures say they, from that day, they answer no more questions. So, hey, that's proof that Apostle Hart is the spirit of Yahweh Shah. And the scripture tell you to follow, Paul said, as I am a follower of Yahweh Shah, follow me. You know what I mean? You got that precept?
I want to read the definition that the elder sent, GMS North Carolina 24. It says reincarnation, the belief that the soul upon death of the body comes back to the earth in another body, rebirth of the soul in a new body back again.
Hey, and that's beautiful because it takes faith to believe that. Because this, in the modern world, this was brung out to be, or on display to be, the figment of your imagination. But really, this is the truth, man. All right, and it takes faith. That's why the scripture talk about faith is the substance of things not seen. Evidence. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So your evidence is you see your grandma in the casket. So you think that's it. You know what I mean? But we see past that. We don't gotta have tangible evidence. We know through the spirit and through the scriptures that person who in that casket is gonna come back as time go. They tell you that in Exodus
20.
the 20th chapter. And the spirit is making that come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got something else on the cover board?
We brought up that yes.
Oh yeah, we brought it up. Yeah. Matter of fact, you got a piece of, go ahead.
Yeah, Con, this is Revelations chapter 10, and let me get to the point, verse 11. It says, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations.
Oh, that's beautiful. Read that again.
Yeah, it's Revelation 10 and 11. He said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many prophets and nations and tongues and kings.
Revelation 10.
Yeah, Revelation 10.
Said, thou shalt prophesy again amongst, that's America, just to simplify. Amongst many people and tongues and kings. And that's what's happening. You see what I'm saying? So how about you know what? If ain't nobody's got it, let's close on Revelation 19.
And this is on Revelation chapter 19.
Because we already read the spirit of the prophets and service of the prophets. The Lord ain't gonna just raise up some random guy to be a prophet. Like, for example, this guy Colin Kaepernick. He's stirring up things. He's standing up for, you know. Yeah. But you think the Lord gonna turn him and like the nigga Tupac? You got a lot of niggas that think like, oh shit, Tupac. They just waiting on Tupac to bring out a prophet. You know what I mean? And the Lord killed the nigga. Only the prophets is designated to this. You know what I'm saying? You know that was the momentum. Niggas was waiting on Tupac to say some shit. Or they waiting on Colin Kaepernick to come. See, he helped me up. I was just reading that too, the Nike shit. But you know, it's some nigga waiting on Colin Kaepernick to get on the podium and say, man, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna help. It ain't no prophet. The prophet gonna be out here doing what the prophets do. All right, you know that.
Yeah, this is on Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
So if you can, hey, what else are there, man? What else do we got to break down? We just read that the reward is going to be to the prophets. And if the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Yahushua, who is designated to prophesy? The prophets. So wouldn't they be back right here today? A fish ain't gonna fly. Why? Because the fish was designed to swim. So a prophet is designed to prophesy, man. So with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wahab, Rakah, Kodash.
Double honors to the head apostles and elders, the great millstone, and shalom to you brothers out there laboring in his work, and death to America, and death to you scoffers and scorners, and you Christians, anybody outside of this doctrine, man. All right? With that, shalom.
Shalom.